So welcome. As Lorraine said, we're excited to have over 1,700 of you here this year. Over 700 companies across 43 countries. And our attendee profile is very representative of our theme this year, which is Power Paradox. So over a quarter of you are from distribution companies, over a third from travel technology providers, almost 200 financial services companies, and almost 250 suppliers. And as we look at the attendee demographics, we have 58% senior executives in the audience. Our biggest subscription to our Young Leaders Summit this year, we had 75 young leaders. Our inaugural startup program, 70 companies and over 100 participants. The entire Phocuswright team comes together once a year to put on this show to make it truly different from other events in the marketplace. So if there's anything that any of us can do, make sure that you approach somebody with a Phocuswright badge, ask questions, go to attendee services. It's our job to make sure that you get a ton of value out of this next 2.5, 3 days. So as we look at the programming, you'll see that today represents Innovation Day. So we have 22 startups and emerging companies that will take the stage for Summit. So they'll pitch their products in front of our dragons. A new partnership this year with HSMAI will happen midday. So we'll do an innovation think tank. We'll look at trends in hospitality marketing. Launch program is this afternoon. So launch is where established companies come onto the stage and pitch their products in front of a group of senior executives, a diverse group that we call our focus group, very much like a research project. We'll do a couple of tech talks, a tour and activities roundtable, and then we'll finish the day with an award ceremony for the summit presenters. Tomorrow morning, we'll kick off with a women's leadership initiative. So we have a lot of great leaders from across the industry that will offer their thoughts and opinions on what their company's doing to promote gender diversity and also what traits are developing that we'll need in the market as we move the market ahead. Center Stage kicks off tomorrow morning. We'll have breakout sessions where we take the theories that are presented on the center stage and turn them into practice. We'll do a People's Choice announcement during that center stage session, so I'll show you how to vote in a little bit. And then center stage will conclude at the end of the day tomorrow, as well as through a big portion of the day on Thursday. What we don't have on this slide is all of the networking that we put together. So that's a big part of who we are and what we do at Phocuswright. So make sure that you're taking in as much of that networking as you possibly can. Phocuswright has created an innovation platform that brings together all of the key stakeholders in the industry to foster an ecosystem of innovation to move the industry forward. So open access is our research. We produce a ton of research reports over the course of a year. We have a ton of analysts that are spread out all over the globe that meet with our customers to help them understand the trends that are evolving in the market. FocusWire is our daily coverage of travel tech trends, innovation, startups. We're pleased to welcome the T-News audience into the FocusWire audience, so that's a recent acquisition that we just made. Networking is a big core of everything that we do at Phocuswright, is curate networking and make sure that we're helping to connect the right people to move this industry ahead. And then we have a number of partnerships with trade shows and with associations where we take our innovators and we serve them up in front of audiences that will help them grow their business, very targeted audiences for them. The other side of the slide is our pitch events, as well as our startup program. So startup program was really successful yesterday. We had over 100 startups that met with mentors and investors to help them shape their product, to identify product market fit, and help them with business development. Battleground is for early stage companies to take the stage and pitch, and the winners of Battleground will be here at Summit today. Launch is for established companies to pitch their products. So what does the state of travel startups look like? So we've analyzed nearly 2,000 startups since 2005. Here's a snapshot of 2012 to 2018, or the first half of the year 2018. The bar chart represents funding. The line chart represents the number of companies that have been founded. So the trend here is the number of companies is declining. The funding is increasing. So there's a smaller number of startups that are gobbling up a larger amount of funding. So I'd like to recognize some partners of our innovation platform as well as some patrons. So these are companies that help us bring in more startups and also support all the things that we do to match startups with mentors and investors. So we're pretty good at this. We've done this for 11 years. We've screened thousands of startups. We've brought 450 on stage. They've collectively raised $3.4 billion, and 65% have been acquired. So that's a much higher rate than you see out there in the general audience. The process. So as we get into Summit today, here's how we script out this program. So we'll have 22 innovators. They each will have 9.5 minutes on stage. They'll pitch for 6, 3.5 minutes with the dragons in the dragon's den. So the dragon's role is to be very critical of these startups, and if they said something during their pitch that doesn't quite fit, if they exaggerated their market size, the dragons will call them out on it. We'll ask about unit economics, really to try to help you understand which startups have the most chance of success. So the judging criteria. So all of the judges will vote on each startup. You'll also vote on each startup. So people's choice voting will happen throughout the day today into tomorrow. I'll show you in a little bit how to do that. These are the categories that we vote on: technical innovation, business innovation, the potential business value, so how big is their market and how much value can they bring to that, the ability of them to pitch, so how good are they at pitching, the quality of their team, so how is their team built to address this opportunity, and lastly, the potential to create true breakthrough value in the industry. Awards. So we have a number of awards for Summit presenters. We have the most innovative startup. We have the most innovative emerging company, Brand USA Marketing Innovation Award, the OAG Award for AI Innovation, and the big check was the General Catalyst Award for Travel Innovation, and the People's Choice Award. So how do you vote for that? So you'll pull out your app, you'll click on My Event, which is down at the bottom, My Surveys and Voting, and we'll launch the live survey once we finish with the last presenter. So take in as much as you can. Make sure you vote for People's Choice. I'll remind you again after the end of the session. You can also vote on the desktop site, but you probably won't be there. So let the show begin.